I'm gonna make a movie you can't resist.
My number eight most favorite movie of all time is The Godfather. Actually, it would be probably regarded as the most mainstreamly movie critic-y pick of this whole list because it's very acclaimed, and IMDb I think has it at either number one or two or three, the best movies of all time. And even though I have to say at the top of this that even though Al Pacino is in this and he was made famous by this movie, basically, I think that the best actor in this movie is Marlon Brando. I really think he plays the Vito Corleone as that's the best performance in the movie in general. But all the performances are really good. James Caan, Robert Duvall, Talia Coppola, she should really be called. The guy who played Fredo, John Cazale, and the others, and the rest. What I like about it, despite, well, first of all, in general, I'm just sort of, like a lot of people, interested in the American Mafia. I mean, it's a really good subject, but I've always seen The Godfather as the tale of a king and his three sons, which is to me sort of like Swedish history. We had Gustav Vasa, not sure what I would say his name in English, and he had three sons, and they all became kings. Well, he had more sons, but three of them became kings, and they all succeeded each other, and some killed the others. I don't know. It's sort of, to me, it's a movie about family. You have the wise father who doesn't really come across as a gangster so much, even though he kills people and like sets up murders and stuff. His first son was really hot-blooded. His second son was really meek and really sort of slow, almost. And his third son was the good one, so to speak, the one who didn't want to be part of anything. He wanted no part of the crimes. He just wanted to serve his country in the army, and then he wanted to go to college and everything. But when his dad is threatened, he almost dies from shooting, and then his life is threatened, and Michael, Al Pacino's character, stands up and basically to defend his dad, and that starts his journey downwards towards more criminality and everything, and it goes fairly straight with one detour, and then at the end he's like full gangster leader. He's become what he didn't want to become, and the last scene when they just like, because he has his wife and that was his girlfriend when he was still just an upstanding citizen, and she's left out of this world. They shut the door, they like kiss his rings and all that stupid stuff, and one henchman just shuts the door on her, like to just like, you're not in the inner circle, you're not a part of this. It's very poignant somehow. If something I don't like about the movie is the whole part in Sicily, because he shoots the cop and Solozzo, who had his dad shot and everything, so that's fine. But then he goes to Sicily for a year or two to hide out, and then he marries this really hot Italian chick. And then she dies in a car bomb. But anyway, he marries her. Like, I sort of, what? Why didn't you have a girlfriend back home? Didn't you? And then he goes home, and then he meets her, but he says, I've been back a year. And okay, so first you marry someone else, you're back a year without even talking to her, and then you want to marry her and have her kids and everything. That's the one part I don't like. But otherwise, it's just it's a very smooth journey, I think, and Marlon Brando, definitely the main reason to watch the movie. Visual side it's very brown looking, brown and yellow, but I guess that's to make it look old. With the other two movies in the franchise, just to mention, the second one is always heralded as the best sequel ever made. And the third movie is said to be shit, basically. I don't think The Godfather Part 2 is that good. It's because basically it's two movies in one. The half of the movie is Vito as a young man, played by Robert De Niro, and all those bits are great. No complaints whatsoever. But all the Michael bits are slow as fuck, in my opinion, because it's more of his descent. But he already had the descent into immorality sort of in the first movie, but they just keep going with it, and it just goes on and on a bit it's a bit too drawn out for my taste. And most of Pacino, it doesn't let Pacino do too much, I think, because most of the shots of him are like this. He's growing more and more apathetic to the whole lifestyle and everything, and I guess it's supposed to be that way, but to me as a viewer, I just get tired of looking at him being like... It looks almost like he's gonna fall over and fall asleep in some shots. Of course, it ends very nice with the whole Fredo thing. And in general, I would say it's a really good sequel, but I wouldn't say it's the best sequel of all. I wouldn't say it's the best sequel of all time. And the third movie is I went into it thinking it was going to be awful, but actually it wasn't that bad. Yeah, Sofia Coppola is not really a good actress. Andy Garcia wasn't great. He was the son, the unlegitimate son of Sonny from the first movie, and he really had that part of the personality he had down, but he didn't look like someone who could handle the family business like Michael. So when he takes over at the end, they don't really hint at it or anything, but I just sort of know that within the next 20 years or something, the Corleone family are they're just gonna explode or whatever. They're not gonna be around for much longer. Al Pacino actually in this one has more opportunity to act, and honestly, the part that most people remember about that with Al Pacino is just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. Like that part alone is better than any of his acting in the second movie, in my opinion. And the last scene is very good. It goes like the last scene of the first movie when they kill the heads of the 5 families and Mo Green to settle all family business. In the third movie, they have this kind of elaborate setup, and they have to kill a certain amount of people, and they have the set around the opera, and everything seems to go well, and it's all very suspenseful. But then at the end, unfortunately, Al Pacino, Michael Corleone, again can't get away with what he's trying to do exactly. So his daughter gets shot. And he just screams out in pain, in horror, and that scream also is probably the best acting he's done in the whole trilogy, and it's from the third movie that no one likes. But forgetting all of that, the first movie, The Godfather, is a movie I can watch a lot of times. I have watched it a lot of times, and I will watch it a lot of times more. And it might insist upon itself, but it's still a good movie. Very, very good.